Yes, I'll cue you. All right, so Stephen, tell us your story. Like, what was going on? What brought you in?
So the main issue that brought me in was extreme fatigue. Basically, my energy was like a roller coaster throughout the day. It had been getting progressively worse over the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 years. I thought I was in pretty good shape, eating right, working out, and it just continued to get worse to the point where I couldn't function throughout the day like I think a 32-year-old person should. And
what were you having to do to function?
A lot of caffeine.
Okay.
A lot of caffeine, and of course that causes a roller coaster within itself.
Right.
So stimulants, and
Right.
I just got to the point where I couldn't focus, I couldn't think, tons of brain fog, and just couldn't function throughout the day like I knew that I could.
Right.
So found out about you, and came in, and you went through a thorough assessment with me, very detailed, and after the first 30 days, I noticed a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
Tremendous difference. I hadn't felt that good in, since I was in, my teens probably.
Wow.
So yeah, that was very exciting. So it's been maybe 3 months.
Something like
I
that.
think, and it just continues to get better.
Yeah.
My energy's phenomenal. I feel the best that I have in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's great. I had the most thorough workup. I've never had any kind of assessment this detailed ever. I don't think you'll get it anywhere else. You're not going to get it at an annual physical with your MD, or you're just not going to get it. So it's certainly worth the time, effort, and energy to go in and find out what's actually causing your problem versus getting something that's going to not correct it, but just give you temporary relief.
And just for the viewers at home,
Sure.
we did some blood work. We
Sure.
looked at some hormones.
Sure.
We looked at. You had a very complicated case. I mean, I don't want everyone to think that it was just some magical thing. I mean, you had a very complicated case. You had about 6 major metabolic things going on that were, it was a nice little bird's nest
Right.
of stuff. But we got them untangled. I do want to ask. So, do you want to? What about some of the anxiety stuff you had had? I mean,
So
you want to share that for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe that, that's gotten tremendously better. That was one of the other things that motivated me to come in was the anxiety to the point where I couldn't get much done. But now that has, it's essentially gone.
Yeah.
And I know the things that cause it now, and if I reintroduce those things, it'll come back.
Yeah.
So it gives you peace of mind to know that it's just not all in your head,
Right.
and that you have control over those things.
I was going to say you've got some control once we identify in your case what the real triggers were for it metabolically.
Right.
And now if I do X or Y, I'm probably going to feel bad, right?
Yes.
Very good. So overall, what would you say? I mean, overall versus when we started, what percent? If you had to give it a percent, what would you think you feel like you are better?
I'd say I'm 90% better.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, some days it hits 100.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. High five.
absolutely.
That's cool. All right. Excellent. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely.